If you've yet to watch my review on Forbidden Siren 1 or 2, then make sure to click on the video review you want to watch on screen. Or, if you'd like to know more about the developmental process behind Siren Blood Curse, then click on the video in the middle. And now, onto my review of Siren Blood Curse on the PlayStation 3. I'm pretty happy I've had the chance to play through and complete all 3 Siren games, and now that I'm onto the last game, Siren Blood Curse, for the PS3, I feel a bit upset. This may be the last venture into the Siren universe I ever take on this channel, and it's a universe and franchise I completely love. Now, there is a film that I could possibly review based on the franchise, but I'll leave it up to you guys if you'd like for me to review it. But now, it's time to complete this circle of reviews, and as always, we start with story. Siren Blood Curse is a reimagining of the first game, and with that, we find ourselves in the same town of Forbidden Siren 1, Hanuda. But since this is a reimagining, a few things are now different regarding the story. New characters have been introduced, such as the American TV crew, consisting of Sam Monroe, a cultural anthropologist and college professor, Melissa Gale, a TV presenter and Sam's ex-wife, Bella Monroe, Sam and Melissa's 10-year-old daughter, and Sol Jackson, who is the cameraman. These characters kickstart the story with them stumbling upon a human sacrifice ritual. After that, we are introduced to our main protagonist, Howard Wright, who has been sent a mysterious email and with that has decided to venture into the Forgotten Town. We soon discover that the townspeople are no longer human, but instead creatures known as Shibito, which translates to corpse person.
Hey, wait, what are you? Ah! Shit!
I don't want to go into too much detail due to spoilers, but what I can say is that Siren Blood Curse provides a very interesting story, much like the 2 previous games did as well. There are multiple twists and turns that'll keep you on your toes, and you may even get confused a few times as well as you try and piece together what's happened, but that seems to be a natural occurrence in the Siren series. There are multiple characters, and you do have a chance to play as 7 of them. Unlike the 2 previous games that had what's called a Link Navigator, the story told in Siren Blood Curse is now structured in an episodic TV style with a quick recap at the start and a preview for the upcoming chapter at the end of every chapter. As mentioned before, there are multiple different characters, and as you progress through each of the 12 chapters, you'll be jumping back and forth from all of them, and due to that, their paths and stories interact with one another, keeping Siren Blood Curse going at a steady pace. Overall, story is as interesting as the previous games, proving a frightful, tense and entertaining story that should keep you hooked till the very end. Gameplay in Siren Blood Curse is very similar to the 2 previous games, bringing in the best of both of them and melding them together, but in case you've yet to watch my Forbidden Siren 1 and 2 reviews, let me give you a quick explanation on how gameplay works in the Siren series. Siren Blood Curse is primarily a stealth game, but it does have action elements in it. Missions can take between 5 to 20 minutes to complete, and during gameplay you are given small objectives such as go here, pick up that, avoid this, distract that, escort him or her, you get the idea. During missions, you tend to be unarmed and outnumbered, meaning you should avoid as much contact with the Shibito when possible. If you are armed and decide to take them on, you should still be careful as enemies in the game never truly stay down, and after a few minutes you may find yourself hiding from them once again. One of the key mechanics of the Siren series is here, and that is of course the sight jacking feature. This allows you to see through the eyes of enemies and allies. This comes in handy for observing enemy movement patterns and solving small puzzles, but something that is quite annoying is that the game sometimes automatically enters sightjack mode when you have been spotted. Although I see why this is done, and it's to give the player a heads up where they are being chased from and for a bit of dramatic flair, it can be annoying as it obscures your vision and can be a little bit disorienting. Luckily for you and myself, this can be quickly managed with a flick of a button. As said previously, the game will be jumping between multiple different characters, and due to this, playstyles will differ and mission style too. Sometimes you'll be well equipped for whatever lies ahead, as you'll start the mission with a gun, for example. while other times you may be playing as Bella and you'll have to avoid all contact with the Shibito in order to survive. The game likes to make sure you know what you're doing though, with objectives being clear and updating once you've completed them. The map is also a useful tool as it tells you exactly where to go, which may sound a bit cheap, but the true challenge is actually getting there, and the game is a tough one, but due to this it keeps you from wandering around aimlessly. Graphically, Siren Blood Curse is really good, but it does contain a few odd design choices that I'll talk about later. The locations found in-game are once again filled with many small details that you would expect this development team to include, and like before, each location feels authentic to its Japanese roots. Characters look real enough and have their own visual personality to them, but presentation is where Siren Blood Curse shines, as the atmosphere in the game is top notch. It really does make you feel like you're in a forgotten and decaying Japanese village. Now, here are a few things that I noticed in game that took a little bit of time for me to get used to visually. And first up is the noise filter and other smaller effects which have been overlaid throughout the game. It can get a little bit annoying and distracting when playing, since it feels like a lot of these didn't have to actually be there, and have taken away from me appreciating the world that Project Siren has crafted. However, Tomohito Hashiguchi, who is the lead particle and visual effects designer of the game, stated that these effects were mimicked and implemented so that the game has the visual style of films that have used older lenses and cameras, and with that I can understand and appreciate their effort, but still it took a bit of time for me to get used to. Lastly is how dark the game is. It is stupidly dark at times and makes for navigating around to be quite difficult, but it's somewhat understandable given the locations you'll be in. And there we have it, my thoughts and final say on Siren Blood Curse. So why do I think you should pick this game up? Well, first of all, it's a PlayStation exclusive horror game that I really do think you should experience if you have the console. It has a very interesting story with overall gameplay being fun but also quite challenging. The atmosphere is top notch and the music and sound design is great and produced with tons of care. Even though the game can be a little too dark at times, challenging, and a few of the visual effects may take some time to get used to, this is one hell of a survival horror game that not a lot of people have played, but I think you should. Thanks for watching and make sure to stick around for future content. As always, this has been the Friendly Bro, signing out.